Hi, I'm Angie Holmes, and today I'm going to talk to you about my summer surf research project, a comparison of the emerging adult insect diversity and biomass between control stream sites and sites impacted by a natural gas pipeline installation. Human-induced modifications to streams have a negative impact on the ecosystem of the stream. The installation of the Mountain Valley Pipeline could significantly disconnect the aquatic link by altering the diversity and biomass of insects that emerge as adults from the stream. The purpose of my study is to determine emerging adult diversity and biomass before the installation of the pipeline through our stream system. Emergence is the process by which the larval feeding stage of an insect changes to the adult reproducing stage. Aquatic insects play a major role in both freshwater and terrestrial communities. In the larval stage, insects provide food for larger aquatic inhabitants such as fish and amphibians. Once emerged, the winged adults provide food for terrestrial inhabitants such as birds and bats. Human-induced modifications to streams could disconnect the aquatic terrestrial ecosystem link by disrupting the food web. The Mountain Valley Pipeline is a 103-mile natural gas pipeline that is planned across more than 1,000 water bodies from West Virginia to Virginia. The installation process destroys the tree canopy along the stream bank and the stream bed through dredging. The width of many of our sample streams are significantly less than the 42-inch gas pipe. The pipeline installation could result in long-lasting impacts on the aquatic terrestrial food web. Although extensive physical, habitat, water chemistry, and larval insect data have been gathered by myself, Dr. Lau, and a team of my peers, information regarding the emergence component of the aquatic terrestrial link is missing in our study. The data and analysis from this study will serve as the natural condition for insect emergence. Future students in the lab will use this data to determine how the pipeline installation changes insect emergence in the aquatic terrestrial link. I specifically wanted to know if abundance, richness, and diversity will change over time between control and impact sites. I suspect that abundance, richness, and diversity will increase as the season changes from spring to summer and also between control and impact sites based on stream size. The sample length of each stream was calculated by multiplying the width of the stream by 40. The length will ensure that each habitat type is represented in the sample. 6 of the 9 sample sites are represented in this study. Sites 1, 4, and 10 are control sites. As you can see on the map, Site 1 is a very small headwater stream with an average width of 1.2 meters and a depth of 33.3 millimeters. This site is located upstream from the planned pipeline installation. Site 4 will not be impacted by the pipeline and is a tributary stream that runs into Site 5. This stream is surrounded by vegetation with an average width of 2.3 meters and depth of 77.9 meters. Site 10 is not directly connected to the impact sites. This stream is larger than the first 2 with a width of 4.7 meters and a depth of 279.1 millimeters. Surrounded by vegetation and strongly affected by heavy rains. Discharge measures the volume of water and is measured in liters per second. The data consists of an average of 5 passes per site. Site 1 has an average discharge volume of 54. Site 4 is 248 and Site 10 is 5,621. Canopy cover is the percentage of the stream reach covered by vegetation. Site 1 has a canopy cover of 90.6%. Site 4 is 100% and Site 10 is 69.6%. Sites 2, 3, and 5 are impact sites. As you can see on the map, Site 2 is directly downstream from Site 1. The average width of this stream is 1.4 meters and depth is 53 millimeters. The discharge rate is 143 liters per second and the canopy cover percentage is 60.2%. This stream will be directly impacted by the pipeline as one of the planned sites of crossing. Site 3 is slightly wider than Site 2 with an average width of 2 meters and depth of 56.8 millimeters. The discharge rate is 131 liters per second and the canopy cover percentage is 98.1%. This stream is indirectly impacted by Site 2 because of its downstream location. Site 5 is a much larger site with an average width of 7.2 meters and depth of 263 millimeters. The discharge rate is 13,336 liters per second and the canopy cover percentage is 85. This site is directly impacted by the pipeline installation, however, is easily impacted by heavy rain. One emergence trap, pictured on the left, was set per stream site. Traps remain in place for 10 weeks prior to our summer sampling season. This is because the collection of the larval insects can disrupt the emergence process by dislodging organisms. Each week I collected the adults that have been trapped and euthanized by hotshots located in the emergence trap collection cup on the right, and I identified them to family. Results. Now let's talk about the results. The quantification was calculated using the Shannon's index diversity and I ran a linear regression. Let me explain this figure. On the x-axis is the week number and the y-axis shows the abundance. Our results show the abundance of emerging insects does not change over time. With an R-squared value of 0.06715, this means that 6% of variation in abundance is explained by time. In this figure, richness is now on the y-axis. Our results show the richness of emerging insects is not changing over time. With an R-squared value of 0.01478, this means that 0.1% of variation in abundance is explained by time. And in this figure, diversity is now on the y-axis. Our results show the diversity of emerging insects is not changing over time. With an R-squared value of 0.06715, this means that 0.6% of variation in abundance is explained by time. Although there is an obvious decrease in trend, this relationship is not significant and is due to random variation. Because there is no change over time, I decided to compare the average of abundance, richness, and diversity between control and impact sites. For this analysis, I ran a t-test. With a p-value of 0.01908, there is a significant difference between control and impact sites in relation to abundance. The average abundance in the impact sites is higher than the control sites. This can also be accounted for with random variation. With a p-value of 0.3348, there is not a significant difference between control and impact sites in terms of richness. And with a p-value of 0.7234, there is not a significant difference between control and impact sites in terms of diversity. Conclusions and future directions. Our data indicates that there is no change over time. I believe that the reason for this is because the emergence peak had not yet been captured. Within the sample streams, I had 2 emergence traps located within control sites that were destroyed on a regular basis. I believe that this accounts for the high abundance in impact sites as well as the similarity in richness and diversity. Future directions. I will finish identifying the last 4 weeks of emergence insects, enter the data, and rerun the linear regression and t-test. I will also be comparing previously collected bat data with the emergence data. I thank ARS for financially supporting our research. I thank Dr. Jamie Lau for her mentorship throughout the past 3 years, and Logan Van Meter, Maddie Holmes, and Chris Holmes for their assistance in the field. Thank you. I will now take any questions.